The 1920s, a decade of glitz, glamour, and unprecedented wealth. The stock market was booming, and everyone believed the good times would last forever. But behind the dazzling facade of prosperity, a dark conspiracy was brewing. What if I told you that the 1929 stock market crash, the event that plunged the world into the Great Depression, wasn't just an accident? What if it was all part of a carefully orchestrated plan? Hidden from the public eye, a group of powerful bankers, industrialists, and politicians manipulated the system, profiting from the chaos while millions lost everything. For decades, their secrets were buried, until now. In this video, we'll uncover the shocking truth behind one of history's most infamous events. Who were the masterminds? How did they pull it off? And why did they do it? The answers will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the 1929 crash. The year 1929 is etched in history as the beginning of the Great Depression, a period of economic devastation that reshaped the world. The stock market crash of October 29, 1929, often referred to as Black Tuesday, is widely regarded as the catalyst for this global catastrophe. But what if the events leading up to that fateful day were not merely the result of economic mismanagement or speculative excess? What if there were darker, more sinister forces at play? This is the story of the hidden conspiracy behind the 1929 stock market crash, a tale of greed, manipulation, and betrayal that has been buried beneath decades of historical narratives. The 1920s, often called the Roaring Twenties, were a time of unprecedented economic growth and cultural change in the United States. The stock market was booming, and millions of Americans were investing in stocks, often with borrowed money. The prevailing sentiment was that the good times would never end. However, beneath the surface of this apparent prosperity, there were troubling signs. The agricultural sector was struggling, with farmers facing falling prices and mounting debts. Income inequality was stark, with the wealthiest 1% of Americans controlling a disproportionate share of the nation's wealth. The banking system was fragile, with many small banks operating on thin margins and vulnerable to sudden withdrawals. Yet, these warning signs were largely ignored as the stock market continued its meteoric rise. At the heart of the conspiracy were a handful of powerful individuals and institutions who sought to manipulate the stock market for their own gain. Among them were some of the most influential bankers, industrialists, and politicians of the time. These individuals operated in the shadows, using their wealth and connections to orchestrate a series of events that would lead to the crash. One of the key figures was Charles E. Mitchell, the president of National City Bank, now Citibank. Mitchell was a prominent advocate of stock market speculation and played a significant role in promoting the idea that anyone could get rich by investing in stocks. However, behind the scenes, Mitchell and his associates were engaging in questionable practices, including the creation of investment trusts that were essentially shell companies designed to inflate stock prices. Another central figure was Albert H. Wiggin, the chairman of Chase National Bank. Wiggin was known for his aggressive trading strategies and his willingness to use insider information to his advantage. In the months leading up to the crash, Wiggin and his associates were secretly selling off their holdings while publicly encouraging others to buy. Then there was Richard Whitney, the vice president of the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE. Whitney was a respected figure on Wall Street, but he was also deeply involved in a scheme to manipulate stock prices. Whitney and his associates used a technique known as pool operations, where they would collectively buy and sell stocks to create the illusion of demand and drive up prices. The conspiracy to manipulate the stock market was not a spontaneous act but a carefully planned operation. The goal was to create a bubble that could be burst at the right moment, allowing the conspirators to profit from the ensuing panic. The plan involved several key steps. 1. Inflating the bubble. The conspirators used their influence to promote the idea that the stock market was a surefire way to get rich. They encouraged the public to invest heavily in stocks, often using borrowed money. At the same time, they manipulated stock prices through pool operations and other deceptive practices. 2. Creating a false sense of security. As the market continued to rise, the conspirators worked to create a false sense of security. They downplayed the risks of investing and dismissed any warnings about the market's instability. This allowed them to continue inflating the bubble without raising suspicion. 3. Triggering the crash. Once the bubble had reached its peak, the conspirators began to sell off their holdings. They did this quietly, so as not to alert the public. As the market started to decline, they used their influence to spread panic, causing a cascade of selling that led to the crash. 4. Profiting from the panic. In the aftermath of the crash, the conspirators used their insider knowledge to buy up stocks at rock-bottom prices. They knew that the market would eventually recover, and they stood to make enormous profits once it did. The stock market crash of 1929 had devastating consequences for the United States and the world. Millions of people lost their life savings, and unemployment soared as businesses collapsed. The Great Depression that followed was a time of widespread poverty and suffering, and it took years for the economy to recover. However, for the conspirators behind the crash, the aftermath was quite different. Many of them emerged from the crisis even wealthier than before. Charles E. Mitchell, for example, was able to use his insider knowledge to protect his fortune, and he continued to play a prominent role in the banking industry. Albert H. Wiggin also managed to escape unscathed, and he went on to enjoy a comfortable retirement. Richard Whitney, on the other hand, was not so fortunate. In 1938, Whitney was exposed as an embezzler and was sentenced to prison. His fall from grace was a rare moment of accountability in a world where the powerful often escaped justice. In the years following the crash, there were numerous investigations into the causes of the Great Depression. However, the true extent of the conspiracy behind the stock market crash was never fully revealed. The conspirators used their influence to shape the narrative, ensuring that the focus remained on broader economic factors rather than their own actions. One of the most significant efforts to cover up the conspiracy was the Pecora investigation, a series of hearings conducted by the U.S. Senate in the early 1930s. While the investigation did uncover some of the unethical practices that had contributed to the crash, it stopped short of exposing the full extent of the conspiracy. Many of the key players were able to avoid scrutiny, and the true story of what happened remained hidden. The hidden conspiracy behind the 1929 stock market crash serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked greed and the abuse of power. It is a story of how a small group of individuals, driven by their own self-interest, were able to manipulate an entire economy and cause untold suffering for millions of people. But it is also a story of resilience and the enduring power of the human spirit. Despite the devastation of the Great Depression, the American people were able to rebuild their lives and create a brighter future. The lessons learned from that dark period in history have helped to shape the modern financial system, with regulations and safeguards designed to prevent a similar catastrophe from happening again. Yet, as we look back on the events of 1929, we must also ask ourselves, could it happen again? In a world where the wealthy and powerful continue to wield immense influence, the potential for another conspiracy of this scale remains. It is up to us to remain vigilant, to hold those in power accountable, and to ensure that the dark secrets of the past are not repeated in the future. In recent years, historians and economists have revisited the events of 1929, uncovering new evidence that sheds light on the hidden conspiracy behind the crash. While much of the truth remains buried, these revelations have sparked a renewed interest in understanding the true causes of the Great Depression. One of the most significant discoveries was the existence of secret agreements between the major banks and financial institutions of the time. These agreements, which were never made public, allowed the banks to coordinate their actions and manipulate the stock market for their own benefit. The extent of these agreements is still not fully understood, but they provide a glimpse into the shadowy world of financial manipulation that existed in the 1920s. Another key revelation was the role of government officials in the conspiracy. While it was long believed that the government was unaware of the manipulation taking place, new evidence suggests that some officials may have been complicit. This raises troubling questions about the relationship between the financial industry and the government, and the extent to which those in power are willing to protect their own interests at the expense of the public. The story of the hidden conspiracy behind the 1929 stock market crash is a complex and troubling one. It is a tale of greed, manipulation, and betrayal, but it is also a story of resilience and the enduring power of the human spirit. As we continue to uncover the truth about what really happened in 1929, we must also remember the lessons of the past and strive to create a more just and equitable future. The dark secrets behind the 1929 stock market crash may have been buried for decades, but they are slowly coming to light. And as they do, we are reminded of the importance of transparency, accountability, and the need to remain vigilant in the face of power. For in the end, the truth will always out, and it is up to us to ensure that it does. This isn't just a story about the past. It's a warning for the future. Because if we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it.